Hi, welcome to Watch the Time and my unboxing of two new cheap Casio watches. Now when I say cheap, they are cheap, but they're not cheap as in quality. Now I've recently done an unboxing and review of this one, which cost me about 15 quid. Just over the moon with this watch. Actually works fantastically well. Really happy with this. I think it's cost me 15 quid, and people have said they found it for even cheaper than that online. So I thought I'd get a couple more. These two, by comparison, have been quite expensive. So they're both about 20 quid, but you can always find them cheaper. But if I can find links to Amazon, I'll put them in the description for you. So let's have a look at these two watches. So the first one is a W735H1AVEF with a 3416 module in it. So these are proper from a bona fide company, come with warranties. This one I actually call a kind of almost a G-Shock, and got some really nice features. And it's got one feature which I wish my G-Shock had. I'm wearing the G-Shock Square just for a bit of comparison. So let's just get this one out. They come with a bit of plastic around them normally, but obviously I've had these out of the boxes just to have a quick look at them. But this is just an initial sort of look. I haven't really spent any time with these watches at the moment. But this one, my initial impressions are I really like it, and for 20 quid or cheaper, this is an absolute cracker. The other one, not for me, but I think it will suit some people, but we'll go into that in a minute. So you've got a fairly standard sort of Casio display with everything that it does written all over it. And some of the highlights on this: super illuminator, it's got fabulous illumination, LEDs from bottom corners in an ice white blue colour. 10-year battery life, 100 metres of water resistant. Now the 100 metres of water resistant, for me, that's enough to go swimming, shallow diving, sort of duck diving, snorkeling, general use and abuse, anything up to sort of proper scuba diving. And to be honest, if I was doing a little bit of scuba diving down to 15-20 metres, I would actually happily use one of these. Whether it would work or not, I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's not an awful lot of money. But just general wear and tear in the shower, sink, washing your hands, getting wet generally, 100 metres water resistant is absolutely fantastic. That's kind of my minimum for an all day, everyday watch. You've got a countdown timer, stopwatch, alarm, dual time feature. So this is a great watch for taking on holiday because it's really robust. It's obviously accurate. The battery's going to last 10 years or more. You've got all your useful functions. Hasn't got like loads of alarms. It's just got one. But you've got this. It's got your normal alarm which pings, but you've also got this vibration alarm. And when you put that on, you literally just get a little vibration in your wrist. There's no sound, so it's quite a discreet. I call that more like a discreet reminder as opposed to a normal daily alarm. Obviously, you've got 24-hour, 12-hour display. You've got this little display up here tells you your signal. That's your hourly chime, vibe, split timer, and alarm set. And then these other two dials are just like second counters. They just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds each. They fill up and then they empty. Serve no purpose really whatsoever, other than they just look a bit funky. And that's it really. It's quite a chunky beast. I'll just put it next to the G-Shock Square. So overall it's a bit more chunky than the G-Shock Square. You can see it's quite a tall watch, but well protected on the glass there on the front. So a real chunky watch, but I'm just going to pop it on wrist. Really nice strap on this one. And that's the thing with Casios, even if you only spend 20 quid, you still get a nice rubber strap. And this one's plenty long enough. So there it is on my just over 7-inch wrist. So this is quite a chunky, tall watch. Matter great beta watch, work watch, holiday watch, everyday watch, all for around 20 quid. Absolutely fantastic. Got those Phillips screws on the front there shown. Gives it quite a nice tooly effect. Obviously you've got your big light button on there rather than one of these. Buttons are really nice on this, really nice and chunky. So really nice and easy to use. I actually really like this one. Great little watch for 20 quid. But anyway, let's save any more information for the full review once I've worn it a bit more, and we'll open the next one. So this is for your slender wrist person, or a younger person with a slender wrist, or maybe a lady with a slender wrist if they want sort of a nice Casio. And this is the MW600F1AVER, and it's got the 2719 module in it, and this is an analog watch. So let's get this one out. There's some details. Boom. Really like the design of this, but it is quite a small watch. So let's just get it out, pop it off the sponge. There you go. So a fairly simple but modern looking dial. Again, 10-year battery life. It's obviously analog. You've got a bit of loom on here. The loom is okay. It's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst Casio I've ever had. The loom on the hands hangs on for a while. The loom on the dial, not so much. Simple date complication. You've got like a minute track around the outside with some sort of detailing at the 15 and 45 minute markers there. Just a nice simple watch. No screw down crown or anything, but it is 100 meters of water resistant, this one. So again, you're okay with your swimming, just general daily use. It does obviously hack if you pull that out to change the time and date. The second hand will stop, and yeah, it works really well. The second hand doesn't quite hit the markers on this one, and I think that's probably just pot luck with these. I mean, this one, yeah, it doesn't quite, but it's not far off. But you know, on a sub 20 quid watch, I don't think it really matters, and it's not sort of noticeable when you're actually wearing it, I find. So as I say, this is quite a small watch. It's got not the best strap on this, but it's okay. It's nice and slender. It sort of suits the size of the watch. You know, you compare it to that, it's a big difference. I'll just pop it on wrist. So that is on my just over 7-inch wrist. You know, a little bit too small for me personally. I don't mind a small watch sometimes, but I've got plenty of small watches. So you know, this one definitely isn't a watch I would keep, but I've got no issue with it. And I think if you have got a smaller wrist, or if you're a younger person and you want something that's, you know, reasonably sort of tooly and robust, reliable, accurate, all that kind of thing, a great sort of daily wear watch. It's just a little bit small for my liking, but I do like the design of the dial. It's difficult to see in the pictures. It looked actually a little bit bigger to me, but quite happy with it. And as I say, for 20 quid, it's difficult for me to moan about it. I mean, you could moan the loom isn't that great. Again, when I do the full review, I'll show you the loom, but the loom's fine. It's just not anything like Seiko quality or Citizen or anything like that. Just a nice standard cheap little watch. Be a good, again, a little daily wear. Just something that if you didn't mind losing would be great. Personally, I prefer this one over this one because it's a bit big, it's a bit bigger and a bit chunkier, and it's actually 5 quid cheaper. But my favourite out of all the three of them at the moment is this one. So there you are. That's my double unboxing of a couple of cheap Casios. As with all the Casios, you can't really go wrong. I've never found one that's been sort of, you know, completely rubbish or a major issue. So anyway, thanks for watching. Watch the time. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.